Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Once more, how are we doing this evening? As the topic says on the screen, we would start quickly. Okay, but before we start, let's wait for people to gather and let's play some music while we do that. So, good evening, everyone. The topic today is an offshoot of my conversation with us yesterday. Now, this evening is going to be a very interactive one. It is one of the things that we would have to do weekly, where you can come in and air your views. It is called the Street Parliament. Street Parliament. Parliament means everyone who is here can speak, can be heard, then we know what you think. End of the day. So, can we invite others to join this conversation? Invite others to join the conversation by sharing this video, like the video. I know many of you wouldn't like it, but again, the bottom line here is we are here to enlighten ourselves and liberate our minds. Okay? So, good evening, Osadolo. Osadolo, good evening. How are you? You're watching me from Milan. Okay. So let's DJ bring down the music. DJ, come on. DJ, bring it down. DJ, bring down the music. Okay. So people, the conversation this evening is an offshoot of my conversation yesterday, which was necessitated by the notion that when someone dies, we in Africa always find a way to attribute the death of someone to some forces. I'll start this way. Many of you have many of you have lost a brother, a sister, a mom, or a dad. Now, how many times have someone walked up to you and said, your mom, your dad, your friend, your XYZ was killed by XYZ? Do we really believe that, these native doctors or these pastors or these evil men can actually kill by invocation? Do you have experience? Are you a pastor thinking, wow, Mazi has gone nuts, he's talking absolute rubbish? Or are you a native doctor looking at me thinking, no, Mazi has gone bonkers, let me let me catch him on the screen and show him that this power has worked? I'm only here to make sense out of the so much senselessness happening in our society. But I have this question for us, because in science, we must interrogate facts. We must look at empirical evidence, empiricism. However, that does not mean that there is nothing called spirituality, or that spirituality does not exist, or that evil does not exist. Of course, evil does exist. Of course, spirituality is there. Now, but let us think about this as a people. If, for instance, we believe that a pastor has caused someone to die, or that a native doctor has caused someone to die, ask ourselves the following questions. We all know that there is no one that dies that they say, I lost a niece last week. Now she is on the larger side, really large, a lady, but she's really large. But no one talks about, what could be the contributory factor of her size to the ailment that she had. All we hear is that that they sent pain to her. And one thing that when you hear that people say Abale and Toto, they sent pain to her, and you ask yourself, as how did that happen? I don't know. No one has ever done pain to me or so. But people, pay attention here. We must bring our thinking cap. How is it? Again, I said at the beginning, I do not, discountenance the fact that that evil exists and good exists. I do not discountenance that. However, imagine for 1 second that someone, I think, I don't know if I can find a photo on Facebook again. They gave some pellets, like, these little pellets from double barrel gun, the pellets from there, or like some metals that are cut into pieces. So, and it was shown on a paper saying, my XYZ just came out from this place and they extracted this from the body. They said that the man, when he bites something, he brings the pellets and puts them on the desk. Then I watch. Then I ask myself, if it is possible to bite, to suck out those pellets out, and you can see them with your 2 eyes, then it is possible to go do X-ray and you will see those deposits in the body before he bites them out. A friend of mine asked me, Mazi, my wife, Agale and Toto, they obviously just her that they want to go to Agolo in Anambra State. That is the hometown of the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, that they want to go extract those pellets from the body. I said, obviously needing a financial assistance in that case, I said, okay, fine, I will, granted, I will give, but can we do something? I'm also going to pay extra money to go do X-ray first, X-ray the body and see if there were any deposit of those metals. And eventually, he thought I was being a little bit crazy, and he rejected the offer and came back 2 days later, told me, oh, everything has been extracted and that the woman is now fine and good. I said, okay, what do you want me to do? Because if you've been able to resolve the problem, which I do not for 1 second think was resolved basically, in that manner. But again, it's what the individual believes in. That is on one point. Now, ask us this problem, this question again. I mean, why I'm having this conversation, because these are things that sometimes I sit back. These are things that I think about. If out of 100 people, now just do a mental arithmetic, out of 100 people that that died, out of 100 people over 80% of them in the Nigerian or African context, you will hear that, oh, this person was killed, he was poisoned, He was done this, he was done that. Ask yourself, if out of 100 people, 10 of them were killed by the wicked woman, the witch, the wizard in your village, 50 of them were killed by your people, your whatever. Now, how many of them then is my question to you? How many of them died of kidney failure? How many of them died of heart attack? How many of them died of diabetes? How many of them died of malaria? How many of them died of typhoid? And how many of them, so you see that there are so many questions that, that begs for answers, that when we begin to interrogate this, we will begin to understand that someone somewhere has created an industry, induced fear to you to keep bringing your tithe and offering, to keep bringing your sacrifices. It is time you wake up and smell the coffee. Someone out there has induced fear. Yesterday, I had a gentleman who called in and said that they had fears, going to the villages. Sorry, but eventually he summoned up courage, and he did, and he didn't die. It brings me to the point again where people say that they want to build houses, but if they go to the village to build houses, that they will be poisoned, that people will send jars to them. Ask yourself. Now, why does it appear that those jars doesn't affect those who are well-to-do and affluent? Why? You think every person who is reasonable and comfortable enough engages in, anti-jars or whatever? Again, ask yourself this question. Why is it that, let's, for argument's sake, you want to go and build a house in your village, and your home, in the Nigerian parlance, your home and abroad, that means everything you own, but in your business, everything is, for argument's sake again, let's say is 10 million. Some of you will say, these people are poor. Yeah, 10 million, we poor, we know. So let's assume this is 10 million. The house that you are, about building was going to cost about 8 to 9 million. Bungalow. No, I'm not talking about duplex. Bungalow. Finished. Now you start building. You dip into your finances. You take about maybe 6 million. Do you know you've jazzed yourself? Reason why I say, do you know you've jazzed yourself is you've gone and taken money from your capital, not any reserve you have anywhere, not something set aside for that project. What it means is it's going to affect your business. It's going to affect it's going to affect your liquidity. You're not going to have enough money to probably, before, if they send you goods, you pay in 2-3 days, you begin to miss payment because you've invested that money in somewhere else where it is not yielding any capital. Suddenly, you begin to approach the pastors, or you begin to approach the native doctor, and they will tell you, when you approach your house in the village, is there any tree by the left? Of course, there will be tree left and right. It is village. And you say, yes, there is. Especially if you're from the southeast, you know that in most communities you have palm trees, and they can say, is there any very tall palm tree? You say, yes, of course, there are palm trees everywhere. And it could be that you've been told, oh, that palm tree has been used to jazz you. It should be taken down. It brings me to mind, and I remember arguing with folks of mine within the community when certain people finished praying, and they said that the local apple we call Odara, the Yorubas, I believe, call that the Yorubas call them Agborumo. So in that sense, they said that some witches and wizards were in that place, that they should go and cut down this tree. That they should go and cut down this tree. Now listen very attentively. That the witches and wizards normally converge in that tree to do their meetings. One is, if you cut down that tree, you are encouraging, you're destroying the environment. We suddenly will want to wonder, oh, why is it everywhere? They say everywhere is so hot. Everywhere is so hot. Why is it that there is no more ventilation? Blah blah blah. Because we're cutting down trees, and they tell you that these trees are, being used for X, Y, Z. I mean, that is for the native ones. Then you have also people who will tell you, you pay X amount of money, they will come for what they call family cleansing or family deliverance. Now, why must you pay money for something that is free? They say you have to pay money, sometimes 500,000, 200,000, 300,000. You see them on Facebook broadcasting, saying that people should pay money and they come and cleanse these families. Again, I recall around 1999 and 2001, when this was something that was in vogue at that point, that people really were calling for families to, family deliverances, blah, blah, yati, yati, yati. And as the case, as it was the case then, can you imagine where what was happening was very simple. Yes, there were people that were doing very, very, very okay, but something happened that not many people took note of. There were policy change under Obasanjo. Those that were going to Germany, importing cars, old cars, 10, 15, 20 years. Obasanjo, I think they put a limit to that, age of the car, that any car more than 8 years or thereabouts should not be imported to Nigeria. And people started shouting, oh, yes, this was one of the reasons, that someone must have been behind it, the reason why suddenly their businesses were no longer moving. Now, of course, your businesses were no longer moving that time because there were serious change in government policy. And again, because we operate in an environment where nobody does policy impact analysis. What is the impact of this policy to the people, and how can the government mitigate this, this impact? And who are the ones these are going to affect? No one does that, and the government leaves everyone on their own. So when something like that happens, people misconceive that and misinterpret that, and things are blamed to spiritual things, maybe. Spiritual in this case, it could be Christian, it could be native or traditional. Now, you hear where pastors will get angry sometimes with politicians, and they will decree and declare that if I be man of God, by so XYZ, by next month, in 2 months, whatever, this person will die by fire, die by force. As if God is unemployed, he's just moving around looking for who to kill because the person has quarrel with you. Huh? I remember when Apostle Johnson Suleiman once said that El Rufai was going to die because El-Rufai tried bringing insanity to preaching in his state, saying that before you come to this state to preach, you must have license. And he took offense. This is against Christianity. If I serve God, blah, blah, blah. This man, you're not going to see, is El-Rufai not alive and is he not kicking to die? Doesn't that not tell you that God is not interested in whom to kill because he has created you? It brings me to the question, do pastors and native doctors have the power to kill? Or, as I said yesterday, if I have this content and you inject or induce something to it, yes, of course, that is a chemical substance that made your system so badly, and you know, this is no, how do I say it? This is no night vigil. Of course, definitely you're going to die if that happens, right? I remember I was once, growing up with my dad when we were in the farm, the ant hill. When you dig the ant hill, at the bottom, you will see the termites. They have their queen. Now it no longer looks like it no longer looks like the queen. Oh, sorry, it no longer looks like termite. Let me see if I can quickly find that termite queen. I don't know what what they call that actually. Anyway, that's termites. Exactly. Okay, I would. Yeah. Okay. I found that so that. Okay. So in this, if you, some of you who are Igbo will understand what they call mburimbu. With it's called mburimbu. It's always in the ban. Therefore, when you look at these things, and I would allow us to, I will allow us to make Queen Tamat. Yeah, I think Queen Tamat. Yes, Osnebe David. Queen Tamat will do. So my dad told me that actually that was what they used to do. That was what evil people used in doing okwaranta and poison. If the fluid touches your tongue, your days could be numbered. As a child, obviously, the reason why he showed me that is because when we go to the goat barn to clear them up, we have those edible ones that we normally fry or roast and eat. Now, for a child who does not stay in that village for a very long time, if care is not taken, you can mistake the two. I mean, if there is any, by adventure, you get into the point of digging the anthill, you can, mistake them. And if you eat them, that means that is dead. There is no two ways about that. But many years later, I was watching Geography Channel and I saw the Bushmen of South Africa, the Xhosa people, going hunting with that same thing. All they did was just in their arrow, they would just touch it, and they can shoot that into an antelope or whatever. That antelope, they'll just follow the antelope. That antelope is a gunner. What it means is that these things, these things are real. Again, I asked us yesterday, think for one moment. If it is possible for pastors to pray for people to die, ask yourself, don't we have leaders that have put us in so much mess, both at the national and the state level, and even that they can actually cry unto God as if God is unemployed, looking for whom to kill. So God killed this person. He has stolen our money. Why do we need EFCC? Where are the services of the native doctors and the pastors to say, listen, this guy, we have one in one of the states in the southeast. I won't mention him, but he's been off and on within the EFCC now. And when you read me that I'm using a China phone, so when I read the billions that they have stolen, my eye, I can't even read properly again because you start having headache. Then you ask yourself, if there are people who have the powers to actually do all these things, why wouldn't they engage them? Why would someone sit somewhere and loot the whole money meant for your state or for a nation? So you mean there were no people actually that can pray when Abacha was looting us dry? Or was it their prayer or their juju that killed him? People, engage your brain. So people, I want to make it an interactive conversation. Please, when you call in, do not hug the telephone because others might want to. So the number on the screen, +2347080042206 is the number to call. So WhatsApp only. That means you need to add the WhatsApp Njenje Media TV, add it as your contact, so you can bring and have this conversation with me. Let's begin a conversation. I know some of you are already saying, oh, there are a lot of things happening in Nigeria and you're talking about this. Of course, that's what I want to talk about. If you want to go talk about something else, it's a free world. So if you don't like the conversation, sorry. I believe there are so many things happening online, offline that one can engage in, but there is a reason I've chosen this topic. We cannot resolve our problems. We cannot resolve everything in one day, but as they say, iron sharpeneth irons. We must begin to sharpen our brain and begin to understand that things are happening. So for those of you asking for the number to call, and I can see the chat, some of you are asking for the number to call. The number is now on the screen. So like I said, if the native doctors or the pastors have killed this person, do this, do the other one, and we have also on the other side those who would fight in the name of God. I say, if somebody wants your God and the God is so angry, let him go fight for himself. Okay? Somebody is, that's why I don't understand those engaging in jihad, saying, oh, somebody made a cartoon and in Denmark, and you begin to behead and, chopping people's, right, left, and center. And I ask yourself, is that God or whatever you worship, is it, if someone has said something, you could go and defend himself. Okay, so we'll have the first caller from the United States of America. So let's quickly take the call and understand what the caller is going to tell us. Hello, you're live on Njenje Media TV.
Yes, Mazi, thank you for this topic today. I've been wanting to see someone that will make such contribution, bring up this so that a lot of people can call in and say whatever things they want to say. So thank you very much. So just a quick contribution to what you've said. You've said everything. I'm saying on my own contribution, I just want to say, if all these guys thinking that they have the whole power of this earth to kill somebody, do this thing, why don't they go into central bank and loot, just make some.
No. But that's not using your past to evil. No, of course not. That is stealing. Something Abacha did. Want to do it.
No, I'm coming.
Okay.
I say,
No. You know, go walk now.
Okay. Okay. Let them use their power. Let them use their power. All these politicians, or these Fulani people that are coming to Rezo One and all that.
Exactly. Now you have a point. We no longer exactly. So why don't we command the spirit to come from up when the Fulani will invade your farmland? The spirit, will come and kill everybody, and we can, we can do night vigil. That is actually a better way of doing all night. I think you have solved the problem now. A better way of doing all night is to do all night and let all those that invade our farmland.
Or have all these governors that have been looting us since 2009 die. I mean, since 1999, die. All of them die.
I'll want them to, if there is a way, they will pray that the organic will all disappear.
Yeah. Yes. In conclusion, because in our form of this I'm just make contribution at this intelligent system.
Thank you.
This thing, a lot of us, like in Nigeria, you see somebody, you didn't go to school, you didn't learn any handwork, you didn't go to entrepreneurship or whatever, and you expect to be wealthy tomorrow. Oh, she now. It will be, and somebody will tell you that Mazi is okay behind my success. It's not possible now. It is not possible. Somebody is in life. I live in the States, and we that yes, you have to work and pay, and not work and lose. It is how life is. Nobody, there's no shortcut to success. But in Nigeria, a pastor will tell his or her congregation that tomorrow, when you plant cassava, you come and take corn. It is not possible now.
Yes, so
it is not possible.
No, it's only possible in Nigeria. It's only possible in Nigeria and Africa. Anyway, the issue is that we must, in the street parliament, because this is a street parliament. So last, we must all receive sense. Thank you very much for your call.
Thank you,
if we have pastors and if we have pastors, imams, reverend fathers, please can you call? We want to hear your theological. Maybe some of you will think some of us are not spiritually over there. I don't know who has the meter. It has been measured, because as the Bible says, when you have a personal relationship, not a personal relationship with you, but with God, isn't it? So I think maybe I might be lucky to have a Reverend Father calling in. Hello, good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Good evening. You are speaking to Reverend Michael Machuku.
I hit a jackpot. Thank you very much, Reverend Machuku. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the United States of America.
Omaka. Go ahead, sir, with your contribution.
Yes. My contribution is, you see, everything that God created has a counterfeit.
Mm-hmm.
And let us not also disagree that when the Bible talks about God and the angels throwing devil down from the heaven, one thing God did not do, he did not take the power away from Satan. Satan came down from heaven with the power that he had when he was serving God.
But God could have spared us that now, but we don't have powers now, and he allowed devil to come down with all those too much power and be oppressing us.
Yes, because the Bible itself says that the gift of God is without repentance. When God gives you a gift, he has given you a gift. So the gift of God is without repentance. So devil was thrown down to the earth. The power was not taken away from him. So the power that he had, now he converted into a negative use instead of using it positively as he was using it in heaven. Remember, he was a rebellious angel. So when we are talking about people doing evil on the planet Earth, yes, There are people who are doing evil. But the only thing is you have to have a power that is above your own power for you to counteract what they are doing. You see, if anybody does not believe in these things, that is what the Bible said, that my people perish for lack of knowledge.
But can you address can you address the topic? The topic is if the pastors and the native doctors have the power to take lives.
Okay.
The argument is hold on. The argument, let's not mix the two. The argument is not if there are evil forces.
Okay.
That is no argument. There is, or rather, there are evil forces. That one argument, no there. But what I'm now saying is, if these, be it the Christendom or the darker side of the other, again, some people will say, what do you call darker side? Is it because it's something that has related to you? Is it because probably the white man has brainwashed you to see that of yours as something dark? But question is, do they have the power to?
Now, I was coming to that.
Okay.
Based on what the Bible tells us, they don't have that power to take any life. But they can inflict you. They can inflict you with something that can make your life go away. Remember. Now let me put the Bible for you. Remember when Satan went to God and told him to allow him to trouble Job in the Bible. What did God tell him? God said, okay, I give you all the free will. Trouble him as much as you can. But don't touch his life.
But that is now God and Satan. Ogakpatakpata versus Ogakpatakpata.
Okay.
So
but now remember that the two Ogakpatakpatas have representation here on earth. There are people who are serving the two Ogakpatakpatas.
So do you believe, now I will let you go now, but let me ask you this question before you go. Do you believe that as you are in America now, working and, making a living, that someone could maybe from your village send something to you to harm you?
They can, but it will not touch me because I have the power that is above their own powers.
Okay. So they can, in actual sense. Okay. Thank you very much for your contribution, sir.
Thank you, man.
It's very insightful. Thank you. So, you've listened to our Reverend Father. Do you agree that somebody now, many of you watching me are in the diaspora, that somebody can actually sit in their village and command, please do not call video call, please. If you are calling me video call, I wouldn't answer you. You're already seeing my face. I'm not too. Please do not call video call, because if you do, I won't answer you. And shout out to Mike Okoye. Mike, thank you for the super chat. So, I don't honestly. How come? Okay, let me. Oh, sorry. Okay, please, WhatsApp calls only. WhatsApp calls only. Please, WhatsApp calls only. Now, can we, let's please, I want us to get this conversation really cracking, because we need to learn from one another. Okay, let me take this call from the United Kingdom. Hello, you are speaking to Mazes, okay? Live.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Okay, let me take this call from the United Kingdom.
Can you please, can you lower the system? No, sorry. Before you call, please, can you lower the system? Either you put it.
Yes, I'm doing that. I'm doing that now.
Can you do that and call me back, please? Please, before you call, kindly lower or turn off the whatever device you're watching me from, it creates this level of echo that is that is not palatable here. Okay, I'll take this call again. Hello, you're speaking to Mazes. Okay, this is Njanja Media TV.
No, I'm calling from UK.
Okay, yeah. What's your name?
My name is Lovett.
Okay, love it. You're welcome to this show.
In this topic now is you see, when you speak, people said, not every church is church. This is what I want you to know. As a preacher and as a child of God, as much as I know, let me tell you the truth. There are a lot of wolves putting on sheep clothing. And people have to know that there are pastors and there are fake pastors. Because there is no good pastor that have anything to do with Satan, to the extent of killing somebody with charm.
Okay, hold on. No. We didn't say charm. Now, what does it mean when you pray and you are there saying, Urobuskata, Yamaha, Kawasaki, die, this person died, my enemy died? Isn't that person a near terrorist by dying, vibrating and saying die? Okay,
my brother, in the word of God, God says, when your enemy is thirsty, give him water to drink. When he's hungry, give him food to eat.
But the Bible didn't say when your enemy is angry with you, pray that the enemy will die. He said, love your neighbor as yourself. Exactly. He says, love yourself love thy neighbor as yourself. So
that's what I want to explain to you, Master. Okay. You see, let me tell you, another thing is that people see the road, they follow bush. The true word of God do not say you should ask for your enemy to die. He said, give him water to drink, give him food to eat.
So why do we pray for people to die then?
That is what I'm telling you. I am telling you that people follow the way they like. In Psalm 94, he said, he said he is the venger. He said, vengeance belongs to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Vengeance doesn't belong to any man. A true Christian knows this.
Okay.
When you say, mind my word, I said true Christian.
Okay.
And what we have now is people who use their own methods.
Well, all lizards are lying down. We don't know the one with a tummy ache. But let me read this comment to you. A comment from Chigozie Tabo says, all the roads leading to the southeast are flooded with the security agents harassing and extorting travelers. Can they please use their powers to make these security agencies to stop this? So what do you say to that?
You see, there is a place which I will not remember now in the Bible says, because I refer you to Bible, because that's why I do the way I follow my things. You see, the Bible says, leave vengeance for God, and God will take care of your problems and your fight.
Okay, so you may round up now.
And another thing is this. People see road, they follow bush. And what is happening in Nigeria now is we call ourselves children of God, but there are a lot of things we do. And the Lord says, when evil is too much, God will turn his back. And evil leader will take place. Okay.
Thank you very much, my wonderful sister, for your fantastic contribution. Thank you very much. Remain blessed. Thank you.
Welcome.
Now, let me ask us this question. Why is it that many of you, when you cross over to maybe United States of America, or when you cross over to, Europe, you no longer pray, casting out demons. If we sit here in Nigeria, everything is under probability. If you don't have solar panel, you pray for light. In the morning, part of your prayer is that God, please let them give us light. You see, we are praying for light, but again, that is somebody's failure. You understand? We are praying for something that God has already given us with our brains to provide for ourselves, but we are praying. Let me take this caller. Hello, you're speaking to Mazes. Okay. Oh, the caller dropped. Okay. So when you look at this, maybe you understand what I mean. That when these things, because I remember many years back, as an undergraduate then in Germany, the first week, because living in Nigeria, many of you, still happens to me today, many of you will know, you don't plan when you iron your clothes. You don't say Friday, Saturday evening, I'll iron my clothes, because you get to Saturday evening, there is no light. So coming to a place that made sense, suddenly you find yourself that you're going to be in a place with structure. You can say 6 o'clock, I'm going to iron my clothes. Now, is those evil that operate in the other side, are they not there? Or is it that we create this evil? Mr. Kola, you are live on Njenge Media TV. Who am I speaking to? And where are you calling from?
Mazi, good evening. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. That should be Okoye.
Yes, that's Okoye. Yes, you recognize my voice.
Oh, your voice. It reminds me of if I drink sour palm wine.
I suppose. I used to be in the choir, I used to have a very good tenor. I used to be a very good tenor, but I don't know how I lost it. But anyway, with regards to the conversation tonight, and with the happenings of I Died Jesus and the rest of it, that got me reflecting, on the psychological state and the evolutionary process, where our people are on this scale. This is not a flippant remark. Our people are, some of our people still think like savages, because it's only a savage who believe that someone can cast a spell from a distance and it will affect you. There's no those sort of things doesn't happen. Don't get me wrong. If you eat a poison, you die.
That's a fact. Incontrovertible fact. Yes.
That is a fact. If you eat a poison, you will die.
That's why people drink snipers.
Yes. If you do that, you will die. And the belief that someone will pray to a god or pray to a shrine or alose, as we call it, and that will come and kill you is completely savage. It's completely savage. There's no other way to explain it. There's no other way. It's a savage thinking, because you ask yourself, why is this kind of thought always has to do with evil? Even the spirit, those Christians, like the reverend that you spoke to earlier, it's always got to be on the evil. The topic has to be evil. Why is good? Is this world created by evil? This beautiful world that we can see around us. Do they think that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe because you are in the United Kingdom, that's why you said that this world is beautiful.
In our country, our hometown is a beautiful place. Though we are wrecking it due to our own lack of understanding. God gave it to us to look after it, to nurture it, but we don't do that. We believe that some spirit will come and fix our own environment for us. All these things are quite explanatory. That our people are still, or some of our people still think in a savage state. I'm not being condescending here. I'm not being condescending. condescending. I'm being honest because you know it pains me. It pains me a lot to see what is the way our people think. Even the so-called pastors who believe that there is this kind of the absence of good is evil. There is no kingdom of evil. There is no separate kingdom. Like the absence of light is darkness.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mazo Okoye. Thank you for your contribution. Let me give others the opportunity to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you, Tochiko.
Yeah. So Mazo Okoye actually drives it to a point of saying that the thinking alone on its own is savagery. So who am I speaking to? Mr. Kola or Mrs. Kola? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hello. You're speaking to Mazo Okoye.
Okay, thanks. I'm Ike Legonye. I'm speaking from Belgium.
Okay, so can you please reduce? Yeah,
I'm out from the place. I'm Ike Legonye. I'm speaking from Belgium.
Go ahead.
Yes, when I was younger, I grew up in Share Camp, and I had the opportunity to be in Bega Camp also. You better visit where Share Camp is, or Shell camps in Nigeria. They have police, they have a standard hospital, everything is standard. And those things are functioning 24 hours, every time is correct there. Then I have knowledge of criminology, and when you're talking about criminology, talk of thesis where everything is right. You talk of antithesis, fighting the thesis. There is talk of synthesis. The synthesis is trying to bring the conflict between the antithesis and the thesis. What is happening within our environment now in Igbo land is something that is the synthesis about the whole scenario, which cannot help us. So if I have to throw the question you asked, whether somebody pastor can delete human being, I say it's that we talk about the lessons learned from this lady's death. The lessons learned from it is that Igbo as a nation, or Igbo as a country, or Igbo people as people have failed themselves. There's no better hospital. There's no articulative structure of where things are being done in the society. These are also a concern. And also talk of parental failure. You see the absence of father and a child in that scenario, that a young girl of that nature can be doing anything the father doesn't know, the mother doesn't know, and even the husband doesn't know. So all these things are playing in so if somebody puts it, are we living in a scenario of jungle, or are we living in a scenario that there's no more traditional, there's no more religious? Putting it in a religious circle is a conflict of interest. That's how I see the whole thing. It's conflict of interest. Now there is conflict of interest in Igbo land.
Okay.
Whether we like it or not, there is conflict of interest.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Thank you.
to put across.
Thank you very much for your contribution. The last caller, I did not think you how do I say this? I do not think you made some point, but I don't know if the issue was really addressed, because here, just like someone said yesterday, Igbos don't love themselves. I think that is beside the point. I said this again. When I hear such, I will say, can you tell me who love themselves more than the Igbos? Tell me who. Anyway, let me pick the... Hello, you are speaking to Njanja Media TV. Who am I speaking to?
This is Ona, calling from London.
Okay, Ona from London.
Yeah, the question is, can a pastor, a dibia, kill somebody? Is that the question? Yeah.
Spiritually, not.
Yes. I'm going to speak from the native angle.
Yes, a Dibia can.
How?
A Dibia can kill a person.
How?
A very powerful Dibia can. I wouldn't go into the specifics.
Stop. Now, a Dibia can, you added a powerful one can. So meaning a non-powerful one can't, but a powerful one can.
Yes, because there are different levels.
Okay, hold on. I ask you then the following question. If Dibias could, where were those Dibias when the British invaded us and took us as slaves?
Well, that's a very good question.
Because if they can, go ahead.
You know, like if you notice what happened during the past, some of the Dibias betrayed their people. Because what happened was that some of them, because some of the Dibias were fighting to prevent, the slavery and the rest. Now the ones that were involved in it, what they do is that once a slave is captured, they will do something on the slave so that the person will forget where the person is from. You're going to forget your origin.
Where did you read that from?
From history. And it happened, like I know.
No, hold on. I've never heard of that. When slaves were captured, they do something on them for them to... Who does? The Dibias do before they take them away.
Yes, of course.
Okay. I might have to...
But as the main point is, as some of the Dibias betrayed...
Okay, let me ask you a very straightforward question, because I need to give others a chance. Have you ever had an encounter with a Dibia?
Yes.
Okay, and you were convinced in whatever they gave you?
I know what, as I know what they do.
Okay.
I know what they
do. You know what?
Because
okay.
As you're asking, as the question you ask is, does native doctors and pastors have the power to kill people?
Yes, and invariably, if you have the power to, Bluetooth people to death, I'll just put it that way, because that's via Bluetooth, it's infrared. Then that person, I believe, should have also supernatural powers to see certain things. I'll give you an example. You are in France or Belgium, right? Where are you? You're in France.
I'm in London, UK.
Okay, sorry. Okay, someone is... Okay, you're in the United Kingdom. Do you know what they call Euro Millions? Lottery.
What?
Euro Millions lottery.
Okay.
Okay, there is this lottery they call Euro Millions in the United Kingdom, and I believe it's in Germany, France, and most of the European countries. And people win heavy money. And I ask myself, if your village needs electricity, and what will give them electricity is not the Dibia. But assuming that the Dibia has the power to make you win that Euro Millions, and you come and you electrify all everywhere in your village, but why does it not happen? That the Dibia that is able to kill someone is not able to...
I mean, as in this question you ask now is an entirely different topic.
No, it's not. But
you know
it's
very well that.
Okay.
No, wait. You know very well that if what happened in the past, the African continent was more developed than Europe. Europe actually came, and messed up Africa. Yes, and actually turned, as the psychology of people against their indigenous way. Whenever as you hear about Dibia, people say they're all evil and stuff like that.
No. That's not the assertion here. I made that clear. That's not the assertion here. This is not to demonize.
Okay.
But the question is, do they have the power of deletion? Do they have the power to say, Mr. A, because you've insulted me, tomorrow you sleep and you won't wake up? Do they have the powers?
Yes.
Okay. And have you seen who before where one has been, was successfully deleted?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for your call. And you believe that person was properly deleted because the Dibia made it happen?
No, I mean, it's not belief. I mean, if you
want specifics, I can take you to somewhere. They just and you confirm for yourself.
Okay.
If you want to have the experience, if you want, it's not about debating and stuff like that.
I'll tell you this. I'll say this on air. There is a place between Uturu. They say there is a very, you go in there, whatever, the water boys, the oracle speaks, this happens, and people, talk what they talk. And I said to whoever was telling me that, I'm willing to get in that place with a drone. And, if they want to visit that place, I can wire them with mics and sit in my car and observe and tell them what was going on in there. They all objected. Again, there are things we must begin to engage our brains and subject them to scientific, because you see, the thing is, if someone is able to do X, you change the scenario, that should be able to repeat itself. It doesn't matter how many times. On that note, I will say thank you very much for your call. Let me take other callers. Thank you very much. Yeah, hello.
Hello, good evening. Can I contribute to
you're speaking. Yes. Who? Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Reverend Michael Ansley Oguche.
Reverend Michael, that's the second Reverend we have this evening. Reverend, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I've been listening to your programs for some time, and I just like the way you analyze things and try to be in the middle and all that. That, I think, is very good.
I think you're talking to me, listening to a device. I told us at the beginning, please, whenever you call, make sure that the device. Yeah, because you muted now. I heard the device is echoing from the background because.
Is it okay now?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, owing to the conversation you're having, by the way, I'm calling from Aberdeen, Scotland.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm a minister. I've worked with the British Methodists, and I work with the Church of God. I'm a hospital chaplain as well. And I've been following things that's been going on in Nigeria. I think the problem we have right now in the global south, and precisely Nigeria, is syncretism with Christianity. And that is the problem. Whereas on this side, we have the issue of liberalism. So at home, I hear people say pastors can kill. I do not believe that pastors have the power. No person. The girl that just died, I think she died because of the medical complication that she had. And so my position is that it's not possible for any pastor to kill anyone.
And that includes reverend fathers like yourself, reverends, You do not have the power to kill.
No.
Or do you?
I don't think God did not give anybody the power to take life.
Exactly. So, and that's what I think, because when people say they pray in the name of God, that person is 7 days, this is going to happen. And I ask myself, is it the same God that we all know? Does it mean God is so unemployed that he's going to be walking around looking at whom Michael or Oyenimo or Obinna will want to say, God, go kill this person because he insulted me, and God will just go hammer the person to death?
I heard that from you yesterday, and I think it was good analogy. God is not in the business of going up and down.
I'm telling you, whom to kill.
Or pastors that will boast and say they can. God does not give any human being such power. And as I said, I work at the Aberdeen Royal Infirmary as a chaplain. And what we do, we connect to people's humanity, spirit. And we do not go there to preach, to convert. We go there to connect direct with them. And so every week I see people in different kind of health situation and all that. I know that some people listening tonight will think, oh, he's one of those that have gone and
no, you're speaking it. You're speaking it. You see, you're saying it real. I'll give you this example before you drop. Listen, there's this woman in the United Kingdom where you are, right? She was a nurse, a Nigerian. She was brought in to take care of a child that had medical issues. That I think they call it waking night or whatever. That means she has to work all the night, being awake in case there is emergency. And in a handbook, the handbook says once this boy has a seizure, this is the number to call. This is what to do. But sadly, in the Nigerian mentality, that night the boy had a seizure. What happened? She was binding, casting. The young man died.
Yeah.
And once one day broke, and eventually the matter went to court, and she was fined. She was struck off the nursing register, and she was fined. Reason is because in that room they had a CCTV that clearly saw while she was casting and where she was binding. Now the question is, why didn't all those binding and casting rescue the dying young man? Thank you very much for your time, Reverend.
Thank you so much, and God bless.
Bless you too. Oh, I think I'm beginning to. We don't have many people today. It's quite. We're not even up to 100, but it's very, very interesting topic, maybe to some people. And the only thing I can ask you to do, please like this video, share this video. Those of you watching on Twitter, please do the same. YouTube and Facebook. Like, share, and comment. Let me take the next caller here. I think this is booming this evening. Hello, who am I speaking to? Where are you calling from? Sorry, you're calling from where?
From Libya.
Oh, are you did you call yesterday?
Yes, I called yesterday.
Oh, okay. How is Libya today?
Yeah. Everything is fine, my brother.
Okay. I hope it's not whatever that built Libya. Maybe spirit, not humans, right? And go ahead with your contribution.
Brother, about the topic, for me, I don't believe that anybody has power to kill anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody say that you would die, sometimes what kills some people is fear. When somebody say you will die, I will do this, I will do that. When you have the fear inside you, that person will do anything. Mm-hmm. That person will kill you. Okay. Like me, severally, somebody has threatened me in the village, you will do this, you will do that. So sometimes my mother tried to go to play. I tell my mother, sometimes, like that, last time my mother said that she will give my life to that person. I say, why? Why do you want to give that person my life to kill me? The person can't do anything to me. So I don't believe that somebody can kill person by saying word or by doing anything, because that person is not God. It's only God that have life, that have power to take life and give life. That's what I believe, my brother.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution.
And I thank you for the way you are taking the matter, the way you are enlightening us about some people that are saying Igbo doesn't like yourself. That word is very, very bad, because one Igbo man cannot tolerate this. When Igbo man is helping you, you're fooling yourself. He will abandon you because you have another thing to do. That's the only thing I want to say on that.
Thank you very much. So those of you calling, please, could you try as much as possible? Try as much as possible to call me on WhatsApp, please. I think we need to turn this off. So again, okay. Hello. I think the people in France are still awake. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir. My name is Emeka. I'm calling from France.
Okay, Emeka from France. You're welcome. May we have your contribution?
Okay, sir. I just want to contribute a little thing about the native doctor or the Libya and the pastors, And we just like a testimony from a personal experience. I'm
State, but I was born in Delta State.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the beginning of the topic, I heard when you were saying that they shoot people. It's like through Bluetooth or something. They shoot people nailed. I myself shot concrete. You know what they call concrete? Then I was It's just like I don't know how to make the parable. Like in Igbo, like if you kulifa kuswe, you know. Then another. My friends, that was like it happened when I was like 16 years. So my friend came to me, let's go out. So we went somewhere and the man wanted to shake me, and he wanted to shake me to hand a handshake with me. I said no. I just removed his hand. He didn't use his hand to touch my stomach. He now shot me three concrete. God is my witness. What I'm telling you, I could have been a dead person.
So what manner of concrete?
Concrete, gravel, three.
Like chippings we use in building.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
So how was that extracted?
Oh, okay. I will tell you. So my friends, they came to me. So we couldn't go for Christmas, normal outing. So they surrounded me. They were crying. So one of my sister and friend, they took me to one native local doctor close to the area. So the man wasn't around, so they took me somewhere else again. So we met another native doctor who used the same another format to bring it out. You know what they do? The man was biting my lungs here. You know, he was biting my lungs just from his teeth. And just was like biting me and removed the stomach. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't sleep for 3 days. I can't lie to you. You know, people are wicked. If you see on Facebook, I commented, people are wicked. It's just when people don't know, people will just come out and say, no. Yeah, devil has power, but God is overall. But devil has power.
May I ask you a clarification question?
Yeah, if you want, I could call your personal number.
No. It's not. This is not a personal lesson. We are enlightening everyone, for those who believe and those who don't believe. So it's good you're sharing your experience. But can I ask you this question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Once the moment that was extracted. Yeah. Were there any holes where the extraction came from?
Okay, let me tell you. They give me some herb. They give me some herb to cook like in form of abo. I took it like 3 days. You know when they put something like concrete in your body that's not something that's not from your body, it will disturb you, can't breathe. God in heaven know what I'm telling you. It happened when I was young in Delta State. I could tell you the name of the place. But the man who did this thing was in the grave today. I can't lie to you.
Yeah,
people are wicked.
I come back to my question. From the point of extraction, was there any cut in your body?
No.
Okay.
No.
So hold on now. But when it was extracted, you saw those chippings.
I saw one. He bring it out. Then it was like using hand to flog it to hit my lungs here. Then you can see.
Yeah, but where did he come out from then? If
it was from his mouth. He was biting me and bring it out. I can tell you, this is a lie. I'm telling you, God is my witness for me to be alive today.
I understand. I see. I'm by no means. Listen to this. Anyone who is able to inject something into your body, and extract it also without operation, is one of it's should be one of the finest. I don't know the adjective to qualify that even the noun.
Let me tell you, it's not the same person. The man who did it to me is a wicked person, but they took me somewhere else to remove it.
Yeah, but they gave you, hold on now, they gave you medication. They gave you medication.
No, yeah, they give me something like
so exactly. So you don't hold on now. You don't believe the medication cured you, but you believe.
No. The medication, the root is just like abo. The abo is just like to feed the wound there.
Where?
To fill in the gap.
No. Which wound? No. Hold on now. Which wound again? You said there was no cut.
No. Inside. You can't see it. It's not something you could see ordinary eye. Inside my lungs. They removed something from my lungs. I can't lie to you.
So And sorry, where did you say you're calling me from again?
I'm calling from France, and this
Okay.
happened in
Okay, hold on. So hold on
now.
now.
Yeah.
You are in France now.
Yeah, I'm calling
And this is 2021.
Yes.
And you believe that if something like that happens to you today, you just go somewhere that will be extracted. Do you know what is called X-ray?
Sir, I didn't hear you.
Do you know what is called X-ray machine?
X-ray machine, yeah, scanning
So
machine, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So do you think if at that point of that injection, that if your body was X-rayed, there was nothing to be found?
You can. That's what I'm telling you. It's spiritual. You can't see anything.
You see, that's my point. Exactly. You've just said it.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. You do not mix. Hold on. You do not mix spiritual and physical. If you are telling me that something was injected in you spiritually and somebody removed it spiritually, then it becomes a case of a man who goes to bed and wakes up and says, Mazi, the spirit says, give me 20 million. And I will say, okay, wait, I'll go to bed. If I sleep and the spirit gives me 20 million, then come back tomorrow, I'll give you. But you are now telling me you slept. Someone says, give you 20 million, and the 20 million suddenly appears, because by your argument now, you said the man did whatever. You said it is spiritual. Suddenly, the same spiritual turns into physical, that you will now see those stones extracted from your body.
No, excuse me, so you go understand. I said I saw the stone from the ribeye, but when I was shot with the stone, I couldn't breathe. But I felt that something happened to me.
Of course. But now my argument is, my questioning to you is, you saw something. I do not doubt for 1 second that nothing happened to you. But what I'm telling you now is, when you begin to say that something is spiritual, then spiritual doesn't mix with physical. So if something was done, then it is also the same process of removal. But the moment you begin to, something, for instance, now, I will say, oh, this thing hit me. And this is something like this. Somebody will do, and it comes out. And I'm like, okay, if this thing was in my body, I should go for X-ray, I should see it. Now, but if somebody implants this into my body, right, and I can feel it, and you're telling me another person can extract it spiritually, then it makes sense.
This can happen face to face, physical.
Okay, thank you very much. It's fine. I think we've taken a long time on this, but I appreciate your call. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you. Yeah. Oh dear. Elizabeth says, Maz is okay. Your argument is blind. Please pardon me. I'm trying to make sense out of things that probably doesn't seem that they make sense. So pardon me if you think well, look, but that's what I said at the beginning, right? If they shoot something into you, if you're telling me that that could be extracted the same manner that it went in, yeah, I have no argument. But if you're telling me that it has to come out physically, in this year 2021, there is, I can't remember, but I remember that it is in Brazil. They said that a child had so much pin, I think about 82 pins, like office pin, inserted in the bodies. I don't know if someone can help me quickly Google that. A baby with pins inserted in the body, that was in France. I can't remember, about 4, 5, or even more than a couple of years ago. But my argument is, when they went to X-ray, some people said it was voodoo, but when they went for X-ray, they saw these pins in the body. And this is where sometimes it appears that people, others think better than us. They started interrogating the the woman that had the custody of the child. Eventually, it turned out that the stepmother to this child was the one inserting wickedly those pins into the bodies of this into the body of this young man. But I probably let me see if I can get that. Hello, caller, where are you calling from? Hello, where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Canada.
Ah, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. See, this is my take on on this very issue. Is similar thing I debate with Nigerians. First of all, my problem with Nigerians is, I know a lot of Africans believe in all these superstitious, but my problem is, believe in all this, you have to be very, very feeble-minded. Because we are too feeble-minded. We're actually transferring our traditional belief, our what they call it, superstitious mind from our spiritual African spiritual worshiping into Christianity. That is why you cannot tell the difference between Christianity and our traditional belief right now. They are blended. So, if you know this guy, they call Chris Angel, and they are illusionists. Chris Angel and David Blake. If those people come to Africa right now, they will be the biggest prophets easily, because the kind of illusion they do. We have African illusionists in the form of traditional, a witch doctor. They do this illusion on people just the same way magicians do it in the streets of New York. So, because we are so feeble-minded, we believe anything. We are very feeble-minded. My child who is 12 years, 11 years old, what he will not believe, what he will think is a joke, a 50 years old
Adults
man in Nigeria will believe it.
Yeah, you're right. Perfectly right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So
Right.
I will suspend taking calls now. Let me do this analysis. I found the thing I was looking for. For now, I won't take further calls until I finish this. Let me quickly share my screen, because these things, we must somehow, what's happening here? Someone is taking over the chat. I think that person is going to be put on suspension. Okay. So let's look at this and read this with me, please. Hang on a minute. Where is it? It's the Chrome tab. President. Okay. Now, tell me, what will be your take if in Nigeria you saw this? Because I remember that was many years ago, but this happened exactly about 12 years today. This happened in Brazil. Brazilian boy subjected to voodoo needle ritual on road to recovery. Now, had this happened in Nigeria, no one would have come to the senses. This is what I'm saying. Here you have a boy. This is the X-ray. You can see these needles. That's what I'm saying. So the person that called from France, or my friend in Anambra that said that they injected something, and I'm saying, I will give you the money, go do X-ray. Do the X-ray first, then go to the man, because if I do an X-ray, I can see 5, 10, 20 needles. But the moment you tell me that if I do X-ray, I can't see those needles. But if the man bites me, the noodles will come out. Then I say they've used your number 6 for pepper soup. Sorry, but because it doesn't make sense. If you're going to take this and make it the same magic it came in and it goes out. Now let's read this. And you can see what the Brazilians have done. Oh, where's the story again? But anyway, at least we can say that the content is no more there, but quickly, let me see if I can see another website that published it. Now we have BBC, because I remember that something with stepfather or stepmother that time. Okay, this is BBC. We moved away from the independent. Now, a Brazilian toddler, see, a Brazilian, you can see my screen. Hold on. Let me see if you can. Okay, you can see my screen. That's excellent. A Brazilian toddler, which page was that? Yeah. A Brazilian toddler has been found with up to 40 needles inside him, which police says his stepfather deliberately inserted in a black magic ritual. Pay attention, black magic ritual. Why is it that if somebody's here telling me that somebody injected needle to me, we don't even care reporting that incident to police? You know, it shows you that the society is broken. Even the person next to you is only interested in, oh, okay, let's get money unless they got that removed. Assumption is if, which I do not believe, sorry, but I don't believe, but if it happens that you go remove it, and everybody goes, yeah, nothing happened, yeah, no punishment, yeah, it can jazz you pin, and come on. But here, police said that Roberto Carlos Mahez has confessed to sticking the sewing needles into the 2-year-old boy who is in intensive care at a hospital. Blah, blah, blah said, mistress told him to ritually kill the child to take revenge on his wife. Doctors will try to remove the needles, some 2-inch, that is 5 centimeters long, from the baby, blah, blah, blah. So again, that is what I'm saying. People of science, you see how science, in this case, has resolved this madness. And the individual that did it, obviously punished. So let's return to cause. So let's see how we can make sense. Because at the end of the day, we must somehow begin to make sense out of our environment, these places. Because I remember when, people would, listen, why is it that in Nigeria, you want to travel from Lagos to Ibadan? They will pray, so that you cast and bind. You cover the tire in the blood. If the blood is not enough, or maybe there is excess blood, you cover the steering in the blood. If there are still blood remaining, you cover the driver. The person you're covering has already drank three bottles of whiskey or 3 decent. There was a time before Obasanjo's tenure, during the military era, if you're driving from Onitsha to Lagos, between after Asaba towards Agbo, you always see that these are big lorries go into the bush, or they go into head-on collision. Why? The African brains then were saying that this place, that it's a blood-sucking section. At that point, it was a single lane each way. Okay, single lane each way, no lane demarcation. That means, but nobody ever analyzed. It's later that I was started thinking about this. Nobody actually analyzed. When the vehicle, the luxurious bus, is loading an OP worker, the driver with a tummy, about like a woman with quadruplets, would go and drink. That time, there is a German, Austrian drink in Nigeria at that time called Salzenbrau. You will drink Salzenbrau. You will drink Gouda. You will come by the time the car is finished and the poo, 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 everybody, let's go. Listen, everyone that drinks alcohol knows. When you take alcohol, between 30, 45 minutes, it begins to get at you. It begins to, you start getting tipsy. And when this guy consumed this, do the calculation. Without traffic, you leave up P-Worker. Between 30 minutes and 35 minutes, you're heading towards Abo. Now, this guy is already drunk. he sees that time might be a Jet 5 or a Passat or a Santana coming, or just horn. At that point, he's only looking at these Santanas. Why should you even be in the road? Just walk away from here. And most times you see head-on collision, and people die, people lose their life. No one tests the driver if at the point of accident, if the driver was drunk. Look at Tiger Woods, who veered off the road in America. When police came, the first thing they did was to ensure if Tiger Woods had any alcohol content in his blood. Because if we had, it changes whether all the whole demon in America came together to push him off road. It changes everything. But here we are, people, we don't want to engage our number 6. And everything is demon, is devil. Now, and again, they said on that road again, many people watching me would understand what I mean. On that road again, we have a narrow bridge. And with all those drunk, stupid drivers, why on that Benin Agbo, after Benin, it's very simple. Again, if you leave Benin, when they're coming from Lagos, they're coming from Lagos most times suburb. They get to Benin, they pack all of you to those mama puts because they brought passengers. They give them food, they give them drink. The guy does the same thing. He leaves Benin, heading down to south. Towards that same area again, the same thing happens. And we keep blaming the devil, whereas now our brain that we are not even engaging enough. Hello, Mr. Kola. Where are you calling from and your name, please?
My name is John. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Okay.
Yes, I just wanted to contribute that.
Yeah, go ahead.
The issue is the issue is the intellectual laziness of the average African, especially Nigeria. You see people who have gone to school who are still talking about witches and wizards. Nobody is saying witches and wizards don't exist. But like your logic, if you've done science, you understand that yes, you can harm people, especially murder. Murder is a crime of proximity. There's no way somebody will shoot in one mirror and kill somebody here in New Jersey from one village. But
if not our various head of state will be in their planes and all that.
They will have been dead a long time ago. They will have been dead.
And people are complaining. All these native doctors and babalawos and pastors, they don't like the people governing them. Yet their powers can't get there, isn't it? I mean, anyway.
Our people will claim that somebody is powerful, but that power, like you were saying, they cannot use it to influence somebody to bring development to the land. For some random reason, they can use it to kill somebody. Only the kill. And nobody is even saying all spiritual powers are diabolical. But you can't do that transmission from spiritual to physical when it's only convenient for you in an argument. If those powers exist, those powers should be able to do those miracles. Look at even China. China's development is not because of some magic. It is because the people do the work. They copy the technology in their hands and they are using it. That's how they have been able to develop. It's not because they are using one supernatural.
But what are we doing? We are busy building the world's largest church, where we have taken over warehouses. We've knocked down warehouses, and
it is sad. It is sad. You'll be surprised. People have shops. People have businesses. On a Wednesday morning, on a Tuesday morning, you are closing your shop. You are going out to be deceiving yourself, and you are paying out of the little you have. You are putting it into type and other. Somebody will now say, "Oh, they don't know," but even during COVID, they are getting excess money. Of course, you don't need 2 cells or brain cells to add it together. That the money is coming from those who are gullible enough to keep handing you their own cash, even though they lack. But it is the laziness, and that is why, for me, even all of us that are here that want to pray that there's a change in that nation, it's not going to work because the people's mindset, they are not ready for anything. They prefer their oppressors, they prefer these fantasies of it is beyond their own control. They hang everything on God. They don't understand that to develop your nation, to develop your land, to develop even your own village, it takes that effort, individual effort. No spirit will come and do it. The humans, they will have to do it themselves, either securing themselves, either developing their land. They will have to do it themselves, but we all want to wait for one magical person that will do it, probably straight from upstairs.
Thank you
Thank you for exposing it. I really appreciate. I appreciate the work you are doing, and thank you for doing that work. I really appreciate all the because you are showing us. I'm from the southwest, but I have learned a lot from your platform and continue the good work.
Thank you very much. I mean, it is an African platform. It's not only meant for the Southeast, but again, a platform meant for the oppressed to have a voice. Thank you very much. So, I mean, I do appreciate what some of you are saying. Like Elizabeth Joseph says, Mazi, apart from what you know, what you don't know still exists. I mean, I never for 1 second say that what I don't know, there are things that, I mean, obviously there are things that have happened to me that I know some of these things are extraordinary. Of course, there is, when I read about how the pyramids were made, you can somehow sense that there must be some extraordinary powers. Without cranes, those rocks were moved. There must be something. I cannot explain it. But coming down here, what I mean is, if we have the power, people, do you know what it means? A human being, the power to kill, the power to delete, without touching, without someone in this, someone here, I think Michael Machuku was saying that it is not spiritual, but metaphysics. This is, I don't know how to put it, because somehow, maybe, probably I wouldn't do justice to, I wouldn't probably, get it right the way you might want. But what I'm trying to do is to spur us, to get us to the point of thinking, because we take a lot of junk, we assimilate them, and we take them to be true without interrogating them. That's why many of you who have young children, when a child asks you some question, I remember my daughter, anytime I tell her something to stop, she say, why? Why? Because stop, I have said, stop it, is not an answer. So we must be a people that we interrogate. Let us also begin to interrogate the spiritual things as they use them to deceive us. If somebody comes and say, okay, I'll tell us an. If I say that I do not believe in spiritual things, I mean, I must be an idiot. I mean, I'll give us an example. In around 1999, when we had the Nigerian 99 game, I was working with the Nigerian Television Authority, Lagos, VI. On heading home that day, we used Ojodubega or whatever. Somebody dropped me off. So I got to Oshodi, waiting for a bus to take me to Sele Ijesha. As I stood there, I had about 200, that was 1999. I had about 200 naira. I don't know, I had something like a voice saying, someone needs money, give him 100 naira. Out of nowhere. It's just like, something just kind of spoke to you. So I stood there, and here appears a man coming towards me, and I'm looking at him just like this. You can see him a little bit haggard coming to me, saying, brother, can you help me? He said he was going to Agbado Oja, that I should give him money. I said, yes, I know. I've been told to give you 100 naira. Tears was rolling down his eyes. Tears was rolling down I mean, it does happen. Now, do I call that spiritual, or do I say that nature was at work, that nature wanted me to help someone in distress? But again, may be because if I did not have that inclination beforehand to help this individual, as usual, someone going home only with 200 naira, you can never trust the bus. It could sometimes go from 50 naira to 70, 80, before you get home. After, even if you drop a seller, you still need an Okada to get home. So nobody knew. But what am I saying is, there are some things that is beyond us. But what I'm thinking is that these concept and these, thinking that if I disagree with you, that person will harm you. Like an analogy I keep giving. Listen, people say when you start building a house, they will come and put jars in that place, and I say, listen, get off this. Make money the day you want to build a house. Let them bring all the jars, put the pot, you pour concrete. If your house is going to cost you 50 million and you have 500 million, wallahi, if the native doctor goes in that place, you pour cement the native doctor, nothing will happen. This earth is not going to fall. You see, Macbeth says it's the eye of the child that fears the painted devil. It's just when many of you living out. You see, I remember that time when we go to the village, out of all the things we've been told, masquerade and evil spirit in the village, your slippers will be pursuing you. You go, your slippers is making tam, tam, tam. You're running, thinking that someone is behind you. In Igbo, we say obodu. Obodu means someone who has known the masquerade. It's someone who hasn't known the masquerade and known the deeper things of masquerade and where masquerade come from the anthill. If you haven't known that, obodi. If you cannot and they tell you, you say, masquerade will be too scary. But when you come in of age and you know masquerade, you begin to understand some of the hidden things. So, people, it has been a wonderful conversation this evening. Let me take some comment. Michael, what you could say, Elizabeth, yes, so God is the only omnipotent. I don't deny that. Timothy, Timothy, you've been going on. He said, maybe I haven't seen that. Of course, I've seen a lot, but I tell you this. You argue that something was removed from you. Next time, if you hear somebody or something on that nature, please, of that nature, can you apply some science to it? Because it's only when we start subjecting these things to science that some of these things will begin to make greater sense to us. Because I maintain that if something is spiritual, the removal will be spiritual. But if something turns away, that I inject something to you spiritually and somebody bites, that's magic, that's illusion. Let me be blunt. That's magic and illusion. Hello, caller, where are you calling from? Hello? Hello, caller from Germany. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, by this time.
I'm calling from India.
Oh, okay.
I'm on duty. I'm working for Ethiopian Airlines Cargo Division, and we are deployed in New Delhi.
Okay.
Mazit, thanks for your taking your time, your precious time. I've been following your platform.
Hold on, before you continue, are you the one that normally make comments on saying you work with Ethiopian Airline Cargo, blah, blah, blah?
That's right. Yes,
okay.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, I'll save your number then. I need to speak to you.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, yeah.
All right. Okay, thank you. We thank you so much for your media.
Mm-hmm.
It is very educative.
Thank you.
Our people have to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Our people are educated. Unfortunately, they are illiterates. Educated illiterates, including me. including me. Yeah. So our people did, you know, the last time I see a message, I wrote a note that invite some elderly people, to enlighten our people. I don't know, there must be something wrong with us, including me. You see, there is a strong hold. I don't understand what's wrong with us, especially we from the southeast. Well, I don't know.
So, but where are you from?
Pardon me?
Where are you from?
Where I'm from?
Yes. You're from Ethiopia, right? You're Nigerian?
No. Yes, I'm not from it. I'm working at Ethiopian Airlines, but I'm a Nigerian.
Okay. Which state?
Enugu.
Okay.
Okay. So please.
But I'm just wondering because you don't sound like someone from Enugu.
Pardon me?
No, I'm just asking because you don't sound like someone from Enugu.
No, I'm from Enugu.
Okay.
I speak different languages.
Okay.
Yeah. So my accent may not be.
Yeah.
So we thank you again, once again, for your efforts to educate us, to enlighten us. Keep it up.
Thank you.
And don't be disappointed.
No, it's fine.
If anyone writes anything negative, just,
it's normal.
Ignore it.
It's normal.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I will call you regarding the cargo stuff to Enugu and maybe Anambra. Okay.
No problem.
Thank
Anytime you can call me.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll be in Nigeria in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, that's fine. We might see in Enugu then.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
So, people, Boko Rebellion. Is your name now? Wow. Boko Rebellion says Mazi is magic and illusion. You've said it. It's in the name. It's magic. It's illusion. Listen, growing up in Onitsha, then there is a man called Domingo Waski. Onyo Wawo. Some of you might know him. Domingo Waski. Onyo Wawo. Domingo Waski, that time, as a child, we will see him, he will just get pepper like this. He put lighter. Boom. The pepper will be burning. Probably when the pepper gets here, he will do like this. Do some things, the same paper, he will squeeze them out and he will turn to like 10 or whatever money that time. And we'll use it, call one of those people carrying 7-Up Limca. I think Limca, 7-Up, and Pepsi, Orobo. And he will use that money to buy. Now, I push that question back to you, and that is a Boko Rebellion. Is that magic or real? If that was real, who authorized that money? Where did that money come from? Don't you think that when we begin to apply our senses, we begin to question every currency that is genuine has serial numbers? And serial number means it was signed by a human being. It was printed by a machine. But somebody does such magic, money appears, and we don't. That's why maybe some of these fake pastors take us for a ride. I saw a video the other day, someone talking absolute nonsense, saying santrum, and, kind of ask them to put a box. And after that is Hindu, whatever, and he said, open the box, and the box is filled with dollars. And some of you will begin to flock that church. I tell you, free of charge, they are going to take your money. Because when you go in those places, they're going to take your money. Reason is, you didn't bother to ask yourself, who authorized those dollars? Even if it's Naira, even if it's Kobo, even if it's Biafran, even if it's Oduduwaman, who authorized it? Who printed it? How did it land in there? Did it come from the central bank? Did he steal that money from the central bank? Oh, they do juju, they do juju, juju, juju. Say they say monkey they jump now because tree near. You can go to central bank. Have you not seen? So why do people go rob banks? Why? You just need to stay in your house, do your nonsense santrum, and all your bedroom will be filled with money. You don't need to go to work. You keep sleeping. Come on, people, wake up. You know, people, we need to wake up. Oh dear. So, people, we are rounding up now. Once more, I say thank you all for joining this conversation. These people can't stop. Deutsch, Chinese, and Biafran first on. Stop. You know, maybe if you stay in a if you stay in a place for a very long time, you might begin to sound differently. On that note, I will say thank you very much for joining me this evening. It has been a very fantastic conversation. I actually scheduled today to have a conversation with the Commissioner of Information in Anambra State, but last minute he rang that he couldn't join, so hence deciding to treat another topic. And but on Monday he is going to join us 5 o'clock Monday. He promised that he will be in here. We need to ask him questions regarding the Anambra Cargo International Airport or whatever it is, and maybe some questions regarding the illegal refinery that we found that was found in Anambra, which found out who owns it. So join me that day. We will have more clarifications. And if God permits, before the opening of Enugu International Airport on the 4th, we might have a conversation with the stakeholders to tell us more. I'm working on getting the airport manager, maybe some of those who are involved, to come on this platform to tell us what we are going to be expecting. On that note, I will say thank you once more and have a wonderful evening. So, for those of you who might wish to start calling afterwards, please, I beg of you, do not do that. Once we're finished now, no calls will be taken again. Thank you very much for your time. It's been really, I've loved it. I've laughed. It's been real good speaking to almost everyone, and the engagement. I must say, I thank you. As we say, when you thank the orifice that polluted the air, you must at the same time thank the nose that perceived what the orifice produced. On that note, I will say thank you once more and have a wonderful evening, everyone.